Welcome to this look at guide to review of an awesome new mod on Farming Simulator 22 with me, MrSealyp. The new and improved and upgraded modular BGA by Kastor D-S-Agrarservice. Now, I said on the mod review yesterday this would be a separate entity. Blimey, it's a separate entity. I'm going to be doing this in stages. We're going to work our way up, adding on the various different things to show the different possibilities, and there are a load. And it's going to be one of those things that once people's imaginations and ideas start flowing, I'm sure this will end up doing far, far more than probably the mod maker anticipated, and probably you will get from this mod review. I'll show you the parts, we'll talk about what they do, and we'll kind of hopefully I'll get it right. There are 22 modules as part of this pack. The pack itself is 73.95 megabytes to download. Now, to start off with, in essence, all you need to make the biogas plant work is the bunker, this bit here, and the fermenter, this bit here. That's all you need. You don't need anything else. You don't need all the rest of the stuff. You can just have it running with those two. There are a load of options on bunkers. There are a load of options on fermenters with regard to size, and also there are some bunkers that have a bio grinder, which I'll talk about in a moment as well and explain. Now, as far as I'm aware, although I couldn't find it on the actual mod description, this ramp is in the build mode. I installed a ramp by Pistai and Vanquish 081, but this one I found. And looking at the pictures on the website, it looks like they probably come with it. So, like I say, I'm not rushing ahead and doing everything in one go. We'll have a look at the bunkers and we'll have a look at the fermenters. The bunker, in essence, is the point where you put all your products in. It gets quite loud when we get up to there. And your fermenter is what does all the fermenting and does the work, and then kicks it out the other end. That really is kind of it. So if we go into our buildings, we go to production, we go to factories, and we scroll along, we will get to the first of them. So as far as bunkers go, we have got a bunker small, which is 4 slots. We've got the bunker middle, which is 5 slots. We've got the bunker, which is the bunker middle with bio grinder. I'll talk about in a second. We then got bunker big, 5 slots, and a bunker big with bio grinder. That's your initial input phase. Now, your bunker will take, as it says down the bottom right there, you can put manure in, you can put in silage, and you can put in chopped beets. But if you go for the bunker with bio grinder, you can put whole beets in. So you can either go with the standard one and you have to chop your sugar beet first, or if you go one with a bio grinder, you don't have to chop your sugar beet. You put your sugar beet in whole, that will actually chop it and then pass it on in the production, because it still needs to be chopped, but it will chop it within the processing itself. So then with the bunker big and then the bunker big with bio grinder, same thing. One does chopped beet, one you can put it in whole, and away you go. All very lovely. Now, as far as capacities go, there's going to be loads and loads of information. I would definitely suggest go on, check out the actual information on the mod, scroll right to the bottom, and it gives you the module overviews. The bunker small will take 20,000 litres of silage, 10,000 litres of manure, and 10,000 litres of beet pulp. The bunker middle will do 60,000 silage, 20,000 manure, and 20,000 beet pulp. The bunker medium with bio grinder will do 60,000 litres of silage, 20,000 litres of manure, 20,000 litres of beet pulp, but it will do 30,000 litres of whole beet. Then the bunker large will do 80,000 litres of silage, 35,000 litres of manure, 25,000 litres of beet pulp. And then the one with the bio grinder will do 80,000 litres of silage, 35,000 litres of manure, 25,000 litres of beet pulp, but 35,000 litres of whole beet as well. Now, the bunkers themselves will overload into the fermenter around that way, will overload into the fermenter once per hour, except for whole beets, because whole beets will be constantly being chopped, and they will move from whole beet to chopped beet within the menu. We'll have a look at that in just a second. That will make more sense in a moment. So I panicked initially. Don't panic, it will do it on the hour, it will move it, because I couldn't get anything to work and I couldn't work out why. And then when I went back through and read it, that's when it hit me. So next up then is the fermenters. Now the fermenter ECK isn't showing on the menu, on the list, so I mean it works the same as any of the other ones, but we do have the fermenter ECK. We've got the fermenter 100, fermenter 150, fermenter 200, fermenter 300. That's all we need to worry about for the moment. So 3 slots. The fermenter 150 might be the one I've got, I think, is 4 slots, 5 slots for the 200 and 5 slots for the 300. So these will take the manure in, they will take in the silage, they'll take in the chopped beets. Regardless whether it's gone in as whole, it still needs to be chopped, and it will be chopped. They will take slurry as well. I'll get onto the slurry point later, because that's an addition you can put on, so you can directly put slurry in. And these all have different capacities as well. I'm just wondering whether or not this is going to be too heavy on all that stuff, but anyway. So the 100, which is that one there, will do 100,000 litres of silage, 100,000 litres of manure, 100,000 litres of beet pulp, and 100,000 litres of slurry. And then obviously out from there, you will get your electricity, your methane, and your fermentation residues, which will be your digestate. And we can set those as well, because it's part of the production chains. So we can set them to store, we can set them to sell, we can set them to distribute, depending on what onward change you've got as well. And obviously as things get released, as mods get released, there's going to be more and more stuff coming out. The 150 will do 150,000 litres of each thing. The 200 will do 200,000 litres of each. And then the 300 will do 300,000 litres of each. There are secondary fermenters. We'll get onto that in a minute as well. Yeah, it's blimey, there's so much to this. So that's the first bits. Oh, the ramp. I meant to show you the ramp, sorry. If we go through to our decoration, we go to others, it's just there. 2,500. It's quite a steep ramp. That's why I initially picked up one by Pistai and Vanquish 081, and that you'll find under buildings and tools if you've got it installed, and it's that one there. It's got a much more gradual slope up, so it depends how you want to go with it, but you can put them in front and you can back up and you can unload directly in. There's not an unload point down on the floor. So right, that's the first talking bit. Now because you've got them installed, you can go to these points here to access the menu, or you can do it direct from your menu if you want to. As long as you go to your production change, you'll be fine. So the top section is your bunker. I've got one with a bio grinder. So as you can see, they're all red and they're all saying out of space. If I go across to this side, I've got them all full. Silage, manure, sugar beet cut and sugar beet. And then outgoing products, and this is very, very important, this bit. Your bunker needs to be set to distributing. Otherwise, it won't send it to the fermenter. So you have to make sure, absolutely have to make sure your outgoing products all say distributing. Otherwise, they will not get sent to the fermenter. And then if I go to the fermenter, as you can see there, I did do one cycle through because I couldn't work out what was going on. So at the moment, I've got a bit of silage in there. We've got some manure in there. The little bit of sugar beet cut that went in has already been used. But the silage and the manure are still processing. And as you can also see, I'm getting electrical charge, methane and digestate being produced. I've got them all on selling, which I'm assuming are going to go on the hour as well, but they are all producing at the moment. Now, those can be changed, so the outgoing products can be set, distributing, storing, or selling. So we can change all those as well. So that's where we stand at the moment. You have to absolutely make sure, like I said, distributing. These will all say out of space and they will sit on red, but you obviously want that process ready to go, because on the hour, all of these here will dump into your fermenter. And then the process will continue again. So you can keep topping up and topping up and topping up, and once every hour it dumps the whole lot in one go. So what we're going to do is skip forward an hour, it will dump, and then we'll come back in. You'll see that it's all gone from here into the next one. Outgoing products are sorted, and I can turn off those if I want to, or I can put more products in. But the ratios are 1:1 for everything that goes in. 1,100 in, 1,100 out, and it processes forward. So those are the only two things you need if you just want to run a basic setup. Put those to selling, and it will sell everything. All very happy, all very wonderful. So what I'm going to do is skip ahead an hour. We'll watch it all dump out. Then we're going to add on the slurry section, and then we're going to look at, well, all the rest of it. So I'll see you in an hour. We've just gone past the hour. It's now 1:04. If we go in and check, you will now see that looking across here, the silage is empty, manure is empty. The only thing that isn't, the sugar beet cut is the only thing that will transfer over. The whole sugar beet won't. So my whole sugar beet that's sitting there at the moment, the 30,000 litres, is now being cut. So you will see the sugar beet is being cut and the sugar beet cut is going up. So then on the hour, that will then transfer over as well. So my distributing that was all on red and was all full, that's all gone. It's dumped the whole lot all over. Now these I can turn off those processes because I've got no silage or manure in there at the moment, but those two I'll keep chugging away. And if we go onto our fermenter, you'll now see I've got 109,000 litres of silage in there. I haven't got any slurry yet, we haven't done that. The manure's dumped over, the sugar beet cut that was there is dumped over, and my processes are continuing but have reset because we got paid for those. Prices will vary. It depends on the map. It depends on what they're set on for all those different things. So I'm not going to kind of go into in-depth on. I'm sure people will go and work out all the numbers. They'll work out everything for selling. So as it stands at the moment, that's the first process done. That explains why you might be sitting on red and all of these nothing's happened, and also to make sure you're on distributing. Otherwise, it won't go to the fermenter. Once it's in the fermenter, we have got a process. We are producing those things, electricity, methane, and digestate. So what we should do now is should be able to add on the slurry section. I really hope I am making sense of all this. I'm going to try to do it as simply as possible. We turn our attention to slurry. If you've got a load of cows, a load of pigs, and you've got a load of slurry knocking about and you want to do something with it. Now, we've already seen the standard fermenter as part of this setup will take slurry. It obviously won't take it from here, but you can run independently a secondary slurry system, but there's also a slurry storage. Bear with me. So we've got a liquid fermenter large and a liquid fermenter small. This is the liquid fermenter small. It will hold 60,000 litres of slurry. I haven't got my thing open. I have, it's just not showing. That's weird. So this will operate as an independent unit to that. So this will just operate as a slurry processing plant. If we go into our menu and we go up here, you'll see we've got our liquid fermenter small I've highlighted. That's what I've got placed. 60,000 litres I've put in, which is what the small one will hold. The large one will hold 100,000 litres. And as you can see, slurry comes in and we get electricity, methane and digestate out. It's a completely separate process. So if you don't want to run a normal biogas plant and you just want to do it with slurry, you absolutely can. You can run this separately and that will produce. Now I've got electricity, methane and digestate at this point all set on storing. Again, we can change that to distributing or selling. Distributing, we'll move it elsewhere. Selling, we'll sell it directly if we want to. Now I haven't turned that on. I'll turn that process on now. So what should happen is, as that's, you can see, that's now started to go down. And we will start producing, there we go. We've got some electricity, we've got some digestate being produced just from that alone. In front of that, we've got the central liquid manure storage, another entity. Now, this is for putting your slurry in to the system, so to speak. 10,000 in, 10,000 out. It's a storage system, but then it can be sent wherever you want it to go to. I've set it to distributing because I want it to go into the standard fermenter we've already looked at, which I hope it will do. And I think this, again, the slurry that's gone in so far at on the hour, that will transfer over. I hope, because nothing's moving yet. I haven't turned it on yet, but I will do. I'm going to add some more in. Now this central liquid manure storage will hold 2 million litres? Yeah, 2 million litres of slurry. So you could use it as just a storage place if you want to, but it will fit into this whole process really nicely. I'm going to turn that on. It says it's running. But what I'm going to do is jump into this and unload some more in. Start the engine would be a great idea. I've got the symbols come up to start overloading slurry. So I'm going to overload that. If we go back into this menu, you'll now see over here, that's going up. There we go. And that should transfer over. Now what I can do, let's just stop overloading a second. If I drive, so that's that front section. So this really, in essence, this tiny bit here is that entire 2 million litre storage facility. It goes into the pipes and it goes underground. This is the liquid processing one. And if you come around the back here, there's not actually a symbol here, but that's where you put into this one, which I'm going to do now. Because it started processing, it will allow me to put a little bit more in to fill it back up to 60,000 litres. Each one of these can be run independently. You don't have to have this processing unit. You can just have the storage one at the front, or you can just run this processing unit and not have the storage one at the front, you know. But it does all tie in. There we go. But it's a tiny little bit in because it's already processing, and I'll put the rest round. So what should happen, because I've got the front storage system set on distributing, it should transfer over. This is where I hope this all works. This should transfer over to the standard fermenter to the right, but it can also transfer over from storage. If I had 2 million litres in here, it can transfer into here as well. So you can go, I assume it's going to do both. It's all very complicated. When I said about this as being the modular biogas BGA, severely upgraded, severely altered, and when I say severely, I mean brilliantly. Not like, oh, it's, you know, but it is a lot to get your head around. So both of them now actually almost sit on the same. They're both running. So as you can see, our fermenter, the liquid fermenter, is already processing. We're not getting methane though. Interesting. We will do at some point, I would imagine. And I have set all of these onto storing as well now as well. So over here, that's all on storing as well, because I'm probably going to need the storing for the next one. So what should happen on the hour, what's stored in here in the manure storage should transfer over to here into the fermenter. Shall we see? I'll see you in an hour, or on the hour, and we'll see if it does. Let's move that slurry tanker out of the way. Let's see if it does. Okay, it's just gone 2 o'clock. Let's check the figures, shall we? So the fermenter is still fermenting quite happily, and we have now got some methane, 10 litres of methane. So that's producing power and it's storing it. My central liquid manure storage, it has moved some, but it didn't dump the whole lot. So obviously, where it says production cycles, this one will run a cycle rather than dumping the whole lot like the bunker does. Good to know. It hasn't done the whole lot. But if we now go up to our slurry here in the fermenter, and we go across, as you can see, set on distributing here, it is sending it into the fermenter here, which means what we can do is turn that on the fermenter. So now we are producing power from silage, slurry, manure, and sugar beet. So that's adding on the slurry side of things. So we are producing power from the fermenter and the liquid fermenter, all set on storing. They're all producing power. The next step to look at then, we've got secondary fermenters is what we've got to look at next. I know, honestly, I didn't make this. This is not me. I'm not doing this to you. I'm trying to get my head around it too. There is also, we'll get on to that later on as well, the liquid fermenter you've just seen, and the liquid storage, which is that one there. There is also a digestate storage, and that will collect the digestate from digesters or secondary digesters to store. We'll worry about that later on. There's also generators, which will generate more income, which will come from your electricity, methane, and digestate. So if you put the generators on, that will actually, in some cases, double or times 1.5 when you're selling. But again, we'll get onto that in a bit. What we've got to look at now is the secondary fermenters. Yeah. Now this secondary fermenting is if you don't want to, as far as I can tell, there are different ways around of doing this. Actually, no, I didn't show you. Let's go into our build mode, production, factories. I didn't show you these, did I? So if we scroll across until we get to them. Right, so we have got the liquid fermenter big, the liquid fermenter small. The liquid fermenter small is the one I've got, which is that one there. The liquid fermenter big is, when I say big, it's a fair old size. So that can be run completely independently. 100,000 litres will go into that, or you can add it on if you want to. So those are the two liquid fermenters, and then we've got this, the central liquid manure storage, which is the one I've got at the front, which is this one down here, that one there. That's 56 grand, and that's the one will hold 2 million litres, and you can put into that, store or transfer into here or into there. So they're all under productions. What we've got to do now is then start looking at generators. We won't look at yet. Where are my secondary fermenters? That's these. These ones that say large post fermenter. What we're going to be looking at next. We've got a large post fermenter 1 that converts fermented residues into electricity and methane. So if you're getting your byproducts coming out, which will be your electricity, your methane, and your digestate, if you don't want the digestate and you don't want to sell it, you can convert it using these, a secondary fermenter, into electricity and methane. So your digestate becomes electricity and methane. That one is the large post fermented 2, which does the same thing, converts the residue into electricity and methane. Then we got the middle post fermenter that converts electricity and methane to digestate. So if you're the other way around, if you're not bothered about the electricity and the methane, but you want loads of digestate, you can use the secondary fermenter to change the electricity and methane to digestate. And then there's the small post fermenter, which does the same thing, converts electricity and methane to digestate. So those are the secondary fermenters. We're going to put some of those in, and then we'll have to look at the processes, how we change those slightly. What I could do is change some off of this one to do one thing, and some off of that one to do another thing. That might work a little bit better. That's why I've been storing everything coming out of here and everything coming out of there. Rather than selling now, I'm setting on storing, because we're going to need them in a moment for the secondary fermenters. Mind blown yet? Struggling yet? If you're not, I certainly am. I'll see you in a minute when I've got some placed. We can add all of these on. Actually, you know what I'll do? Let's place... do you want to do the large post fermenter? I'm just trying to think what we want to do first. So the secondary fermenter large. In is 300,000 litres. Out is... Well, this is for storage, 50,000 electricity and 50,000 methane. The secondary fermenter large 2 is 200,000 litres in, out 40,000 electricity, 40,000 methane. And then we've got the middle post fermenter. I think I've got this in the right order. Please tell me. Yeah. It will take 20,000 litres of electricity, 20,000 litres of methane, and it will store 140,000 litres of digestate. And then the small one, 10,000 litres of electricity in, 10,000 litres of methane in, and it will store 80,000 litres of fermented residue out. So what we'll do is we'll do the large post fermenter 1. That is massive. I didn't realise how big that was. What we can do is turn toggle free mode off top left by pressing triangle, which will allow us to put on the Capacities. That's how we're going to do this. I don't really want it in the way of other stuff though, that's the problem. So that kind of be if we sort of just stick it into the side of the building a little bit. No, it doesn't really work there, does it? That's why I wasn't going to show this bit. Okay, and then we're going to put one of the other ones, the small one or the middle one. We'll do the middle one. So one's going to be converting digestate to electricity and methane. The other one's going to be doing electricity and methane to digestate. Let's pop that in there. Craziness. So, where's the adjustment for this? I've completely covered it up. Probably, knowing me. It's not in here, is it? Might have to do it from the menu. Let's go into the menu. Right, as if things aren't confused enough. So, the large fermenter. We have got incoming materials, digestate, outgoing, methane, and electricity. I'm going to store those. So what we can do now is if we go to the liquid fermenter small, which is the one we've got it attached to, if I take my digestate, which at the moment is on storing, and put that on distributing, please work, that should now, it should take the digestate that's in that fermenter, and rather than store it or sell it, it should now change it from digestate into methane and electricity. It should. Let's turn that process on. That is definitely on distributing, isn't it? Yep. And then the other one, which is round the back, the smaller one, that takes the methane and electricity and turns it to digestate. So what I want to do now is go up to my fermenter, and I'm going to change my electricity to distributing and my methane to distributing. And then down here, that should take the methane from there, electricity from there, and turn it all into digestate. Now these are going to come up red, because as far as I can tell, I think, if I've done it right, these will go on the hour. Will they? I assume so. And that one's now set. Where are we? That one's now set to distribute that. Are we confused yet? I know I am. So the stuff that's in there should be going out there. So the digestate from that will be coming into here and making methane and electricity. And then the other one over here will be taking the electricity and methane that's being produced in that one and turning it to digestate into this one. Maybe. Let's hop on here. Yeah, methane, electricity should be making digestate. They're both on red, like I say, I'm assuming it'll be on the hour. So, we're skipping ahead on the hour again. Then all that's left, I say all that's left, all that's left then is going to be the things I've already spoken about. The generators, the methane sale, and the digestate storage. We can put a big digestate storage tank so any digestate can be stored for use later on. Easy peasy stuff, isn't it? Right, shall we see? It's just gone 3 o'clock. So, let's have a look. If we go to our large post fermenter 1, which is that one there, that is taking from our liquid fermenter. So as you can see, we're distributing our digestate into that, which should be taking our digestate, which is now coming in, brilliant, and changing it to methane and electricity. You may be asking why do you want to do all of this? Like I say, you might not use the digestate at all. And the methane and electricity are going to be worth more to sell, depending on what sell points are available, or vice versa. So what we've got to do then is check the other one, which should be our main fermenter. We are sending our electricity and methane from our main fermenter to this one, and we've got methane coming in, electricity coming in, and it's changing it to digestate, which is now storing. So methane and electricity are going into that one. Digestate is going into that one. The processes are all working. As long as you're remembering to put the right things onto storing, distributing, wherever you need to, it can, is, and does work, which is blowing my mind at the moment, I'm not going to lie. So, the last of those sections, let's go into our build mode. If we go to production, we come down and we scroll across, we have then got out on the end here, right, central digestate storage. So if we want to do storage of digestate, and we can set everything, so collection point for fermentation residues from fermenters, secondary fermenters and liquid fermenters. So if we place one of those, if you wanted to central storage for digestate, I can put that wherever I wanted to if I want. Let's stick it on the side of there. Let's turn toggle free mode off, for example. Let's put it on there because this is the one that's put in digestate. So that gives me a digestate tank, and that one is that's 2 million litres as well. Is it 2 million or 20 million? I think it's 2 million. I'm just counting the zeros. Pretty sure it's 2 million. Yeah. So 2 million litres of digestate storage. So whichever processes are producing digestate, you can send them all to that storage. And as you can see, you've got the taking out symbol there. So when you want to come and get your digestate, if you want to use it for your fields and stuff, you absolutely can. Right, which then brings me on to generators. So these generators will increase your income, and this is one of the reasons why you might want to be converting methane, or in this case methane and electricity to digestate, or in this case digestate to methane and electricity. Because if we look at our generators, generator 1 sells electricity and methane by a factor of 2 times. So you're going to get double, which is fantastic. But hang on, I did make a note on here. It does electricity at times 2, methane at 1.5. That's kind of in the small print. We've then got generator 2, which sells electricity on its own. So you can do electricity and methane, or you can do electricity on its own, or you can do methane on its own. So that'll sell the methane by a factor of 2. That will sell your electricity by a factor of 1.5, and that one will do both. So if I wanted to put a generator in somewhere, as long as it's sort of in there somewhere, doesn't really matter. For 85 grand, boom, that gets put in. Depends what, let's say, what you want to go for. Can you stack these up and make multiple? I'm not entirely sure. That again, that's going to be a more far-reaching test. I'm not sure what my thumbnail is going to be yet. Whether it's going to be complete guide to, or just a guide to, because I'm not sure if it is complete. The thing about this modular BGA is there are so many permutations to this, which is brilliant. It gives you loads and loads of options. So you can run your biogas plant normally by putting solid stuff in. You can add to that by putting slurry in. You can run the slurry system separately if you want to run your slurry separately and make money or convert it to digestate. You can then increase your profit margin coming out by putting one of those in, and all is rather good in the world. So what we're going to do is go back to here. So what we should have now is our digestate storage. So what I can do is go to all of these things now, and if I put digestate to distributing, that should go into the central storage. If I go to, where are we? This one up here. Digestate at the moment is on storing. If I put that to distributing, it should all go into the main central digestate storage. So it should all start going to there. If I turn that on, hopefully that should all start moving over there. It says materials missing on the hour, that should all start moving over. Then our generators, electric charge and methane. There's nothing coming at the moment because, where are they all? That one, there we go. So at the moment, our methane and our electricity is on storing. If I put that to selling, please, this all should work. If I come up to here, they're all on distributing, aren't they, at the moment? But if I wanted to, I can put my methane to selling, electricity to selling, and on the hour, again, hopefully, all the stuff I've put to selling, my electricity and my methane, should become an outgoing product through my generator and make me more money. So as you can see in the middle, recipe 200 electricity in, 400 out, and the methane 100 in, 150 out. So have I covered it all? Have I confused everyone? Are you confused? Absolutely. Have a play with it. But we have got all the various different elements, and like I say, at the very start, there are different size bunkers, there are different size fermenters, there's a few different size other sort of setups for these various different tanks of different sizes and different processing speeds. But that should now be generating our income from our electricity and our methane, down the bottom there. That on the hour should then have our digestate coming into it for storage, and it will hold 2 million litres, all off the back of all the various different processes. As I said, right at the very start, you don't have to do any of that. You can just run a bunker and a fermenter. Or if you wanted to, you could run the liquid one. And that will produce your electricity, methane and digestate just from slurry. Sorry. Let's jump forward an hour and see if those things are working. Right. It's just gone 4 o'clock. Let's check. So our central digestate storage, we set everything that was digestate to be stored, or at least distributed. We've got digestate coming in. Outgoing product at the moment is storing it, but it is working. So it's transferring the digestate that's being produced into this storage building, which is what we were hoping. These two, there's no incoming materials. That's weird. Oh, hang on. Distributing. Did I not set them right? Distributing. I thought I had. I've definitely set everything to distributing, haven't I? Methane, electric charge, distributing. Everything should be passing on to the next bit in the chain. It all should be. Okay. With everything set to distributing, an hour on, generator 1, electric charge, methane, says it's coming in. Now that's supposed to, but that's not now set on selling. I'm assuming that will just then pay you, because there's nothing on there to set that to sell. That is my generator, which does say it'll give you 2 times, but then there's nothing on here to set because there's no outgoing product. So that should just sell. There are a lot of variables to get your head around on this. Oh, have a play. That's all I can say. Have a play with it. And there's going to be so many things you can do, so many things you can fiddle around with, so many configurations. Just have fun with it is all I can say, really. I hope you found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest, whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.